Hi everyone, Dave here at East Rosebud Fly and Tackle in Billings, Montana. Today I'm going to tie for you a pattern that Charlie Brooks devised. Charlie Brooks is a writer, an author, a traveler, a fisherman. He used to live in West Yellowstone, Montana. He loved to fish the section of the Madison between Quake Lakes and Hebgen Lake. That is some of the roughest water in the western U.S. Deep, fast, full of boulders. He would wade out there and fish these huge nymphs and catch huge fish. This is called his Montana Stone. So it is what he used to call his depth charge. Not only good for those heavy runs, but it can also be used from a moving boat to hit deep bank water. It can also be used to carry a smaller nymph to the bottom. As you'll see, this is heavily weighted. I'm going to be using a size 4 3x long hook, 025 lead wire. About 28 wraps of 025 lead wire. And I do stress the lead wire because you do want this fly to go down right now in those heavy waters. As you can see, it's double wrapped. I wrapped from the back forward and then came back over it. Not only does that give it extra lead, but it also helps with the thorax profile. I'm going to use my tag end of my thread, come back here and kind of lasso this lead. This helps to keep my thread from falling down in between the lead wraps as I secure it. A little bit of a cone on both ends. This is 3/0 uni thread in black. All right. For the tails, I'm using a pair of black turkey Biots. I like to tie these both in at the same time. Straddle the hook with both of them. Keep it slightly above the hook and tip it slightly toward you. We're going to use thread torque and thread tension to set these both at the same time. One pinch wrap right where they are, pull straight down. That pulls it down and around. A couple more wraps forward before you let go. And you've got your Biots there. As I have done on previous videos, if you like to put a small drop of UV Cure or something in there to keep those separated, you can also just use a couple of cross wraps of thread to make sure that those stay. Turkey Biots are long and limber, and sometimes they do not want to stay separated like you like. All right, for the rib, I'm going to use some Brassie sized copper wire. Cut off a pretty good piece. I'm going to rib the entire fly with this, not just the abdomen. The hackle needs to be secured as well as the abdomen. So we'll use this dip back here and tie this in. I'm going to tie it in on my side of the hook because I'm going to counter wrap this to secure the hackle. Okay, the Kaufman dubbing, like I say, is a very special dubbing. It has a blend of a multitude of colors and textures. One of my favorite dubbings. It also comes in a brown stone. It's one of my favorites for these large stone flies. So a dubbing loop here is appropriate. And we want this to come all the way up to about where our double lead wraps are. Go ahead and half hitch that temporarily. Get it out of the way. Now, since this is a fairly large dubbing loop, I'd like to put a little bit of dubbing wax in there as I put the dubbing in. Helps to hold it in place. This is low tack wax. You don't have to go with a high tack for this. And just take small pinches of dubbing. People tend to overload these dubbing loops. You don't need to. This is actually a very effective way to use your dubbing. Another pinch, and just keep working your way down. Try to keep it centered in the loop. And tease it out a little bit as you go. Okay, we'll let that loop close and spin this as you're looking left to right. That keeps it tight as you're wrapping it. Make sure you're right at the butt of the tail. And we'll start wrapping a body, touching wraps. Okay, right up to where the thread is hanging. Make sure that's tied off and make sure these lead wraps are nice and smooth. Okay, for the hackles, like I said, this is a freshwater streamer saddle. And I like to go ahead and strip them both at the same time. Get an even length. Cut the real webby portions off back here and peel off some for your tie-in. We want the curved side, the nice side, the outside of the feather facing forward. And then a couple of white ostrich plumes. And again, because of the size of the fly, I'm going to use a couple nice long plumes up here in the prime part of the feather. And tie them in by the base. We want all of these hackles to be right next to each other. And then one more short dubbing loop. You could direct dub this portion of the fly, but to me it's long enough to warrant a dubbing loop and to make it look as much as I can the back end of the fly. You want to stop about a good eye length shy of the eye, maybe a little bit more. We have all the hackle to tie down plus the ribbing wire. Once again, a little dubbing wax on the loop does not hurt. I'll try to make one long enough to go the distance this time. All right, we'll spin that closed. And wrap the thorax. Again, stop a good eye length back, if not a little bit more. You do not want to crowd the head on this fly. We still have a lot to do. All right, when you wrap these, you want to wrap all this at the same time. And this is about the best type of hackle plier that I've found to do that type of job. Straighten them so that they're all taut. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but all we need is about two and a half wraps. That's it. Well, there's one, there's 2 and a half. And then don't forget your wire. Piece of copper wire. I'm going to go ahead and rib the whole body. It helps as you go through the hackle to just twitch it sideways. That'll help to keep from trapping the hackle as we go. So make this fly much more durable. And in the size of the water you'll fish these in, and the size of the trout, you do want a durable fly. Okay, break this off. And finish up the head with a nice black thread head. Charlie's ashes were left there in his favorite water on the Madison. So if you get there with a Montana stone, say hi to him for me. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you next time.